Session, right? Everything is. Thank you all for joining the Team 3 final demo presentation. We'll go with presentation and demo and Q&A questions. We only have few minutes left, 40 minutes. So as time constraints, we'll go with the actual presentation demo. If time permits, we or else we can rejoin and get back for questions. So then start the presentation and go ahead, Yanita and the lead.
All right, just a second, please. Sorry, I just have 3 million tabs open here. I actually lost my presentation here on the way. All right, so I'm just going to share my screen now. So just to say that I'll be showing the presentation, which is the slides I have shared on the channel. And then my colleague Jaylin, she will go over and she would present the actual demo after that. Could we just allow just a couple of more minutes just to see if Abhishek will join, because I'm sure that he was going to, but I'm not sure where he is right now, to be honest. I'm just gonna try and ping him now.
So, Yani, are you waiting for anyone else?
I was hoping that Abhishek would join. I don't see him here, but I can start otherwise because he's one of the people who was very active in building the model. So I've just sent him a message on Slack, but I can just start otherwise.
Sure.
All right, then. So I'm just going to share my screen here. Could you please just allow me, because it's called disable participant screen sharing, could you give me access, please, to screen sharing?
You can share the screen, Yani.
Okay, thank you. Um, can everybody see my screen, please? Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Thank you. Right, so yeah, the slides are exactly the same like we said from last time, and we have finalized our model now. And ever since we haven't made any changes to it, but I'll just go over the slides quickly again. So I have updated our data collection team. So the numbers have been massively reduced, like we know from here. A lot of people we had to remove as well because of their participation. It was not very strong. So from our data collection, we have selected multiple sources, again, from Kaggle and from Hugging Face. These were our main sources where we're extracting data. And the main data that we're looking for, it was in the form of questions and responses, both from just places like Reddit, for example, some information that was more casual shared by users, but also from more from medical professions as well. And the purpose of the question was also to provide a structure for more for better assessment as well. And we were trying to target more specific mental health issues for our three categories, anxiety, depression, and ADHD as well. So our data pre-processing team, the lead has become a baby as well. Since a lot of the people have dropped out of our project, he kindly volunteered to become the lead for this project. For our data pre-processing, we generate the data in the form of questions and mental health issue categories. We have labeled data for each one of our questions, and it answers for each single one of our categories based depending on whether or not it's ADHD, anxiety, or depression. For our model building team, our leads were Jaylin, Araf, and Abibi as well. I would also say that Abhishek as well, but I think he's trying to be a bit more modest and not be. But I think they all participated greatly, and they were the main people building this model, and they did a great job. Um, for our architecture, same as last time, I'm just quickly going to talk about it. So we have our system that the user lands on our when the user opens the chatbot, it is going to exchange questions. Our chatbot is going to answer, and then we're going to go for our mediator as well. We're going to have response evaluation as well, same as feedback as well. The users' questions are going to be stored in a vector database from what we have also. We added our reinforcement learning as well. And from then, we're going to have our sentiment analysis where we're going to determine the user's mood as well. And from then, just very quickly, this is going to generate also a question and response as well for our chatbot. Here, we chose the comparison models here. We have different comparisons models that we went first with. So we had the textbook, GPT-3.5, BERT, and Vader. So like you see, they have performed not very good when it comes to like on comparison on different models. They didn't perform very well. But on the labels for positive and negative, like we see the BERT one has performed the best. It performed with over 76%, and this is why one of the reasons why we went for this model and why we chose it as well. Our HE boost model was trained on labels for positive and negative, and it performed the best from all of them. So we decided to go for this one as well. And we have our naive base here on the different categories from ADHD, anxiety, and depression. We put this only for comparison purposes as well. For our architecture here, for the reinforcement learning, I'm just going to quickly talk about it before we go on to the demo. So basically, first, when the user comes to us, we start with the sentiment analysis, and we're trying to detect their mood, whether or not it's positive, neutral, negative. We also have moderately positive, moderately neutral as well. So from then, like we see, we're going from like Jaden explained last time, we're going to try to explain the architecture from bottom to top. From bottom, they have the user input in the pink box, and the top one is our response, which is generated for the large language model from the LLM. The user's input is going to input something. It's going to be it can be just a question where they're just going to say I'm feeling sad or I'm not feeling very happy, just any sort of emotions they have. And this text goes in the yellow box, which is the chatbot, and then we go to our blue box, which is the clean text from there. And then by using BERT to try and detect whether the user's mood is positive, negative, neutral, and so on. And then we're going to use the reinforcement learning with the Q-learning table. We have this IQ learning table, which has distributed probabilities. And then we're going to use the softmax in order to choose the highest value in the Q table to assign the appropriate action. So what sort of actions we have? We have encouragement, empathy, and as Jaden kindly put there, we have spirituality as well. And in order to have the spirituality is to avoid the response to be sort of like a Google search. And on the right-hand side, we're detecting the mental health conditions. And then after the mental health condition is detected, then the user it uses that to choose from which question to choose the relevant questions, also because we have a questionnaires. And the bot will ask the user one question, and that's related to their detected condition without stating any sort of diagnosis, because we're trying to avoid this. For example, if we have anxiety that was detected, we look through our anxiety-related questionnaires, which is like a medical survey. And the model picks one question and it feeds it to the LLM model and combines it and sends it back in a sort of a short text to the user. So we're trying to, like I said, we're in order to try and avoid looking like a Google search. So, and we've put a nice little screenshot here from what our model looks like for now. So we have this behind the scene table here. And it shows the tone here, whether or not what's detected tone from the user, if it's here, if it's neutral, and the positive mental condition, if it's depression, and the AI tone, which is encouragement here as well. And the user is going to input something, and then the chatbot is going to engage in it by asking it different questions as well. We also had a second approach here, which Abibi was developing. This is our RAG approach as well, and he's going to present this this demo after this one. I'm not sure if he's on the call here, and hopefully he is. So for the RAG approach, we have completed UI Streamlit, and it's generating responses based on the user's mental health related questions. And the chatbot is designed to engage in conversations about mental health, and it's also offering support as well. Because of the time constraint, we also have some future improvements for the RAG approach. So I think we put here he's planned to incorporate reinforcement learning from the human feedback as well, and also advanced NLP model integration as well. We also have some future improvements as well for our reinforcement learning. So our chatbot currently does not recognize very well whether or not like a goodbye if the user is finished, in order to stop the conversation. And we need to deploy as a fully functional health app that can be linked with patient's medical history as well, in order for this to be used by medical professionals. Because at the moment, please know that at the moment this model is not to be used for any sort of diagnosis as well. It's done for learning purposes. And when the conversation is changed multiple times, for example, like we put here 7 or 10 exchanges, AI is giving the same response, so it's starting to repeat itself a little bit. So this is from our future improvements here. And so yeah, this is coming to the end of our presentation for Team-3 as well. So our conclusion is that if anybody ever notices any issues with their loved ones related to mental health, to try and provide them with support, and to just support even for now. And also, yeah, just maybe they can engage with our app as well. In order to see what we can improve there. So yeah, we can go to the demo now, which Jaden is here on the call. She's going to present our reinforcement learning one. So I'm going to stop sharing here. Oh, hi, baby. You're on the call. Sorry, I didn't see you. You're going to be presenting the RAG approach one. Yeah.
The whole, sorry, yeah, my screen share is disabled. If you can allow me, please. Or Yanni, no, I think you might be the host.
I have 1 sec. Yeah, he's made you the host now, I think. Yeah.
So everybody can see my screen.
Yes,
Yes.
we can see it. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
perfect. Thank you. So yes, this is the reinforcement learning based form of fix, our chatbot for mental health. So I'm going to demonstrate a little bit here. Let me just refresh. All right, so let me start by hello. So it recognizes that I'm greeting hello, so I got the answer. And then I can explain, oh, I feel isolated. I have lots of friends in social media, but not in real life. So we got the answer from LLM that is nicely responding. And then we added one question that is related to the detected mental health condition. As you say, we just see here is a depression. So we got it retrieved from BM25, which is a TF-IDF-based similar research in looking into questions related to each categories of a mental condition, depression, ADHD, and anxiety. So in this case, we got the question from the BM25 from the depression category. So this is the question. So if I answer this, do you feel like you're good enough or that you failed at things? I feel good normally, but whenever I use Instagram, I feel like I'm a failure. Yeah, so we got a nice response from LLM as well, and we got a non-repeated question because our system allows to remember the history of the asked questions, even if it's coming from the same depression category. So we are not repeating the question. This is good. And I need a good explanation earlier, so I'm not going to explain too much about this. But maybe one thing I can add here about the Q table, it is randomly initialized at the beginning. Yes, it's true. And then these numbers changes based on the detected mood, whether it's increasing and decreasing. So this interaction with AI made my mood increase as a user, then it's gonna continue kind of that tone of empathy or spiritual encouragement, whatever there was at the time. To continue make the user feel better. So our kind of objective function of our overall model is to make the user feel better. Yeah, I think that's it. Any questions? All right, so I will just end my demo here. We can move on to AppBase. Thanks.
Baby, can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Can you give me an access here? Yeah.
Okay, okay, sure. A baby, okay. Yes. Okay, baby, go ahead.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So this is our second version of HomoFix. So this chatbot to general conversational chatbot. We used RAG approach, and as LLM model, we used Gemini Pro. And for the similarity search, we used IS. And our chatbot has two chat mode, just standard mode and fun mode. So let's see how both mode will work. Okay, okay. I have social anxiety. So this is the general or the standard mode. So in the standard mode, It gives a general advice and recommend the user to take care themselves, and if things are getting serious, to advise their doctors. So let me switch the mode into fun mode and let's see what it will answer. Okay, I have special anxiety. So the fun mode is like a best friend advice. So to make fun with the users. So for example, the fun mode will answer embracing anxiety like an old friend, something like that. So to make short my demo, this is the general conversational chatbot with fun mode. And finally, the plan was to integrate the RLHF. So due to time constraint, we didn't do that. But still, we can collect the feedback. One in the general, what was asking if the response was helpful or not. For example, if it says yes, and additional comment, call, and this feedback will save in CSV format, and we can use it to train our array model, but we didn't implement it due to time constraint. And also we can have new chat or delete our previous chat or something like that. That is our second chatbot. So if you have any question, can ask.
Thank you, baby. I don't have any questions for now. Thank you.
Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you. Anything else? So, what do you think? How much accuracy the result is coming for the user response generation?
Sorry, yeah, could you please repeat the question? Couldn't quite
So
hear
the
you.
question is, what the relevance or the relevant response the LLM is generating for the given question? So, what's the accuracy of the response? I was asking, or how relevant the response is.
Yeah, maybe I'll answer first. The LLM that we are using for LL-based model is the Falcon 7B. So I mean, it's not specifically trained for mental health, but it is in general, it's responding in relatively good way. But let's say the sentiment analysis, we're using BERT, so it's not the ideal. The BERT is trained by the product reviews, right? So let's say if you're saying that, oh, I'm so addicted to TikTok, and then it says, oh, that's a positive thing. So it doesn't ask us a question, because when you're addicted to a product, it's a good thing, right? But when you're addicted to social media, it's not a good thing. So it doesn't recognize that. So it starts to asking questions. It doesn't ask questions about the mental health related proper questions. So, but in terms of LLM, I think it's generally fine. I don't know, Bebe.
Yeah. Yeah, regarding to the RAG, it depends on how much our knowledge base is compiled, because our LLM model give a responsibility to the knowledge base what we have. So what the our chatbot does is, first we have the knowledge base related to ADHD, anxiety, depression, and then we use the FAST, the similarity search. So we use the user's question and search the similarity in our knowledge base, and our LLM response based on the user's query plus our knowledge base plus the LLM model. So technically, we didn't measure the accuracy of the response, but I would say the accuracy of the response is depend on the knowledge base what we have plus the way the user formulate the question.
Okay.
I
So,
think that's
okay. Mhm. So, like,
that was
how will you, as a team, right, satisfied with this product? We should have a better product. the product is enough? Like, what's your rating on the given product from your side as a team?
Well, I would myself give maybe 75%.
Okay.
I mean, it's not ideal, right? So let's say if you ask, I want to continue have a support about, okay, well, tell me about my local health practitioner that I can talk to. Then it has no idea. It has, nothing specific about my local. And then also I've noticed, I'm actually questioning myself, like being asked about the, do you feel anxiety because you have, let's say, I don't know, depression. If I keep being asked about, do you feel this because you have depression or ADHD, I feel like even feeling worse, over time. So I don't know if it's actually a good thing or not. It's I will leave it up to the healthcare professional to determine. But that was kind of my feeling. I don't know what about other people?
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to voice Jalen's opinion as well. Thank you for putting it into words, Jalen. I was struggling with that as well. But when I was playing with the rug approach, especially, thank you for doing it in a fun mode. Maybe I thought it could be a bit direct as well in asking you the questions. So I was thinking if you're a vulnerable user who's just coming to this platform right now, you don't really know necessarily what sort of things you're experiencing that those kind of questions generated for the LLM can be a little bit direct. So you can definitely start questioning things, not necessarily knowing whether or not they can be related to your mental health or not. You may have something completely different. So yeah, I think Jalen is right. Let's leave this to the professionals. I think it's a good tool that professionals can be used, but not just. I don't think it's on its own. It can be necessarily a great idea.
If
But
you
yeah, I mean,
if you
go
want to
for it.
improve or add any features, what are the features you might be interested to add on top of this existing chatbot?
Adding features on the top of what we have already, you mean? Yes.
If you are interested, if you want, if you see, these are the features we required, if we have, this makes a crazy product. Like, do you have any ideas, or do you thought of?
Yeah, for example, like if we look this case on the point of the user or the addicted one, for example, just to share my personal experience, like before 3 years or something like that, I feel something depressed or overwhelmed, and then I try to communicate with the doctors, and then believe it or not, they gave me 5, 6, 7 pages of boring questions. So like that makes me uh, more worse. Yeah. So like I respond there just to give a response. I'm not responding that question with my head, because it's really a big hindrance. Yeah. I just go there to get a relief from my stress or from my thing. But they gave me 7 pages of question to add an extra case. Yeah. So if we look on that point of view outside, or if I am working on this chatbot improvement, I would invest a lot of time to make ease for the user. For example, flexibility to integrate with the chatbot, either audio or other like multimodality. And still, I'm not agreeing to implement this questioning feature, because now look, the attention is really low for the user, so he doesn't care or she doesn't care to answer a question in a proper manner. So instead of that, I would say just do a random conversation with the user. So from that random conversation, take a keyword from the conversation and like do a flow according to their reaction, and then finally conclude something relevant to with the conversation. But if